race fans, and welcome to Off Camper TV's coverage of the Northwest Truck Series, sponsored by Walls Beard Co., Sarge's Place, Volt Vapes, The Hungry Dragon, and Sim Stuff. After a week off, the series heads down to Alabama to kick off the chase for the championship round of 8 with a high-stakes race here at the Talladega Superspeedway for the running of the Sasquatch Crossing 173. We're on tap for 65 laps around the longest track on the circuit. That's 2.66 miles here. Joining me tonight in the booth is going to be Katie Reed and Donovan Johns. How are y'all doing tonight?
Man, having a great night. Looking at the lineup we have here, really excited to see some newer faces and a lot of our fast guys being real fast, and looking forward to seeing if they can hold it straight for 65 laps and bring them home.
Yeah, I'm just as excited. I'm ready to get going here. We've got some great racers that are starting the chase now, and they've got to be even more careful here at Talladega. We'll see how these guys can survive here because they're going to move on to Auto Club next week, but before they get there, they've got to keep out of the wrecks here.
Only 20 drivers taking time so far in qualifying, the fastest being the 29 of Mark Walls. Him and his team sweep the top 3 positions. All 3 of those drivers also in the chase. Right behind them, Wayne Hutchinson in the 1. He is also in the chase, as well as in 7th right now, the 23 of D. Palmer. You have Brian Barnes in the 4 truck, Gary LaViolette, and Andrew Williams. Those 8 drivers are eligible to move on out of this round if they can stay within the top 6 positions over the next 2 races. Qualifying's wrapping up right now. Going to get ready to switch over to the race session. Any predictions tonight, guys?
Well, I don't know. I've watched Talladega, I think, once or twice here, and I think it's going to be some pretty big wrecks.
Yeah, I'm ready to see what's going to happen here. I think we're going to have a couple of big wrecks. These guys, although they're extremely talented, this track can pretty much wreck anyone if they're not careful. So I expect some wrecks here. It's who survives. That's where I think most of this is going to happen, is seeing who survives here.
All right, we're going to let a couple more of these trucks get onto the racing surface here, lined up behind the pace car. 2 by 2. I'm going to give you your starting grid in just a few moments. All right, and there it is. Here's your starting grid for tonight's Sasquatch Crossing 173. We got Mark Walls on pole in that number 29 truck, to his outside teammate in the 24, Jeff Stabnow. Inside row 2, you have Sean Brightsman. To his outside, Wayne Hutchinson. All top 4 are in the chase right now. And qualifying in 5th, William Fletcher in number 28. You have Carl Burke in 6th, D. Palmer 7th, Gary LaViolette in 8th, and Nathan Little in 9th. And rounding out top 10, the 10 of Andy Vogt. Trenton Barrington putting down a good qualifying effort in 11th. Ryan Maines 12th, Nick Kuhn 13th, Andrew Williams in 14th, Kip Leo 15th, 16th went to Brandon Weinberg, Christopher Sherburne in 17th, 18th, John Ottenbacher, Nicholas Bishop in 19th, and Eric Bolton is going to round out your top 20 for Brian Barnes, the lowest qualified of the chasers, in 20th, and I believe that is going to be our field here. 21 trucks getting set to roll out here. We should be seeing the pace car at any given time start to roll. There she goes. Got a long pace lap ahead of us, folks.
It's going to give these guys time to contemplate what's going to happen around the start. If someone spins their tires or misses a gear, this could be a big crash fest early. We hope that is not the case. And I tell you what, Brian Barnes did not put down a qualifying effort. He'll start in the back, which he's pretty used to. He normally doesn't put down a qualifying effort unless he thinks he can get probably a top 3, if I had to guess. So we'll see what he can do coming from the back, and he has a lot of time to make up because he is in the chase, so he needs as many positions as possible.
And Brian Barnes is definitely one of the guys you'll keep your eyes on through this race. He has the driver talent to move himself up into the front, as we've seen time and time again. That number 4 popsicle truck will find its way into that top 5 before too much time passes.
I believe as well he is your leader in the Rookie of the Year standings right now of about 34 points over Jeff Stabnow. Both of those drivers are chasers. I'm pretty sure that the points are going to go off of just basic regular season points. Oh, Brian Barnes got to make up a couple. He's got a couple race gap in between him and Stabnow. Got the field coming off of turn 4. If you've never seen a Talladega race before, it is not like your normal track. Normally in the middle of the tri-oval is where the start-finish line is. These guys have got to keep it at pace speed coming around there. As the pace car is coming off, here comes Mark Walls leading the field to the start-finish line, which is mired in between the tri-oval and turn number 1. Waiting for the command to start. Green flag in the air, and we are underway here for the Sasquatch Crossing 173 at Talladega.
As we're watching these guys coming through the turns 1 and 2, and look at the one truck is diving low, trying to make his way, getting around Jeff Staub. Now everyone else is still 2 by 2, most of the way back of the track, while still spreading out towards the back. These guys are going to take their time, going to watch and see what happens up in front of them.
And basically, it's going to be get in where you fit in. Look at Brightsman going for the lead on the high side. Not a lot of help from Stab now. The one is closest to the 29 on the bottom. Side by side, working their way through turns 3 and 4. We got a blinker in the back that's really substantial back there. I believe that is the 427 of Weinberg. Looks like his connection has came back to regular, but Brightsman's going to lead the first lap of tonight's race.
Yeah, that 427, the Pabst Blue Ribbon truck, that is a good-looking rig. Hopefully he'll get that internet connection fixed and be able to not have any issues through this race with side-by-side drafting and how everything works here in iRacing. Don't want to hit any net code action. Wow, looks like the 67 is way low onto the inside. Or is that, yeah, that is 67. Andrew Williams moving to the back.
He's not liking how the front of this pack is starting to form. We still got side-by-side racing. All of the Wicked Chassis drivers 1 through 3 now. Brightsman and Stab now have made their way to the bottom. Leading the outside, though, Carl Birkin at 53. Not in a chase, but doesn't mean he doesn't want to win. And there goes Mark Walsh to the top side in front of Burt, trying to get a push from him to get back to the lead. Right, and we're having a little bit of issue with our scoring right now. Apparently, the electronic scoring loops are on the fritz right now, so we hope to get those working back for you pretty efficiently. But a battle for the lead yet again. That's all you're going to see here at Talladega until these guys decide to get single file. Mark Walls trying to get back in front of his teammate to lead the charge around this 2.6 mile track.
I really like seeing Carl Burke, who's riding P4, that black 53 Atlas Finishers truck. He is a fantastic pusher, and Mark Walls is loving seeing him team up behind him and hopefully get around his own teammates of Stabnow and the 406 of Brightsman. And Carl Burke is one of your drivers who is going to be clean enough to give you a good push and get you around.
And we're still side by side for the first 5 rows. Top 10 cars. Still can throw a blanket under him. The first truck without anybody to his outside for right now is the 42 of Nathan Little, but here comes Trenton Barrington to his outside. So we have 6 rows deep of side-by-side action as Walls dips in front of Brightsman to get a push from his teammate to go to the point and lead a couple of laps around this place.
Yeah, that's definitely going to make that outside run lag back just a little bit, but if they can regroup. Oh, where are you going, little buddy?
And Stab now all over the apron there through the trial. That is a big no-no.
And that's the gap that just cause it's going to slow down that inside line, allow that high side to come back around. The tighter you keep your truck up to the front of the guy in front of you, the better you're going to be in a line. If you create a gap like that, you're just allowing the other group to just work around.
Yeah, mired back in the pack, though. We do have a little bit of a breakaway. A couple of cars trying to straggle behind, make sure that they miss the wreck, because this is Talladega. It will happen no matter how clean these boys try to race. There will be a big one here tonight. I can guarantee you that. The high line not exactly coming to form as they should. A lot of side draft off of between the 10 and the 17. Now those are teammates for TRGA Motorsports. That's Andy Vogt and Ryan Maines sitting on that high side with Trenton Barrington right behind him.
And these guys are getting more and more grouped up, 6-7 rows back. Two truck and Trenton Barrington getting back up 2x2 and making this high side line hopefully push themselves in the front. And usually surprised to see that the high groove usually gets a little better run and is able to keep up with that front groove. For whatever reason, they're not able to make that push up on the top.
All right, there goes Brightsman out to in front of Carl Burke. Going to try to bring that high line with him, trying to lead some more laps in this race. Stabnow is going to suck up to the back of his teammate in the 29. Wayne Hutchison still third in line on that bottom. Just riding right now in that Veneers number 1. To his outside, he has his teammate in the 68 of Gary LaViolette. Both of those gentlemen are chase participants. And I'm kind of liking the strategy the one's doing. He's backing off just a little bit to keep that gap in between the 24 and himself. Maybe trying to let the 68 drop in the line in front of him. But now going through the turn, he's getting that draft, sucking up pretty good to the back of that 24. Whoa, the 9 is it
There
19. Kip Leo involved as well. Couple other trucks. Oh my goodness.
He just went straight left there.
Yeah, 9 Eric Bolton. Don't know what happened there, but I guess he just tried to squeeze
Ooh,
in.
67 wrecked behind him, guys. 67 of Andrew Williams got a little piece of that.
Oh, he got a lot of pieces of that. He's on his lid.
Yeah,
During some
I
of
don't
that.
know. I think he was expecting to slow down, but Brian Barnes was right on his bumper the entire time. And because of it, the 67 was thrown into the wall and received a bunch of damage from that.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to take a quick commercial break. The stream will go down for about 2.5 minutes while we are running under caution. And believe me, folks, you're not missing anything under caution. We're gonna try to see what is going on with our scoring, but we will be right back shortly to call some more of this action here from Talladega. All right, welcome back. We're working on getting the video feed back up, but we are about to go back. Green flag racing. The whole field is coming out of turn number 4, heading into the tri-oval on the front stretch. You got the 29 Walls-Beard Co. Chevrolet of Mark Walls out front. To his outside, the orange Walls-Beard Co. Toyota and Sean Brightsman. Green flag back underway, and we're down and running again.
It was a pretty good restart. Very smooth on it. Everyone is trying to get caught up after this one. It looks like there's a little separation between the first 2 rows as the 46 and 53 with no help out back up top. They're going to move down the racetrack, pushing back, but it looks like just now they're able to recover from it.
Yeah, that 68 is coming real fast with the 10 behind him. They're going to catch the 53 and 46 combo and hopefully be able to blast those guys right up to the front. Although Mark Walls and Stabnow has a great exit coming out of this corner.
17 Wild Minds machine of Ryan Maines jumped up to the high side to get in front of the 42 of Nathan Little, try to get a little push. 68 and 10 go down to the bottom of the racetrack. 10 comes back up into the middle lane. About 4 or 5 car lengths behind the 53 of Carl Burke. William Fletcher in at number 28 going to the high side as well. Going to close the gap up just a little bit as they are working their way through 1 and 2.
Yeah, up onto the backstretch there, 2 by 2, about 3 rows deep right now, as there's a little separation between the top 6 and the rest of the field. The 46, though, getting a run on the high side with a push from the 53 of Carl Burke. Oh, getting pushed out a little bit as the 29 and 24 down there on the bottom will have the momentum here through the corner.
And keep an eye on the back side of this field here. We're from about 6 rows down. We're gone on single file with the 17-2 truck of sorry, I was just looking at the Ottenbacher back here, just swerving all over the place. The 2 truck of Trenton Barrington, the last 2 going side by side, although Trenton Barrington's finally got his truck under control and starting to move up behind the 17. Let's see if he's able to help out.
Yeah, with familiar cuddle colors back onto that truck. A little bit of backing off on the high side, though. Right beside him is Nathan Little as the field works their way back into turn number 3 yet again. 5 rows deep, side by side. Brightsman, the leader on the high side. Walls, the leader on the inside, and current race leader. Then you have about 5 trucks behind them, pretty tight, with the 19 bringing up the rear. And then right behind him, you have the 9, Eric Bolton, pushing the 13 of Nicholas Bishop. Back here with about a 7 to 8 truck length gap on the rest of the field. Flirting dangerously with that with that apron, if I might add.
I'm watching these guys, and especially the bottom line, they are bobbing and weaving all over this track, using up from the yellow line to the white line. Just a whole lot of volume of movement coming through here.
Yeah, it's almost like they set these trucks up to be just a tad loose, because, loose is fast. But here in Talladega, it just matters if you can get to the draft. Ooh, Trenton Barrington, a little wibble wobble on the bottom of the track there through the tri-oval.
One place you do not want to make apron your friend is at the Superspeedway.
Oh, yeah, you can see, he's dangerously flirting with that apron now. Big separation between him and the 68, who is 4th in line on the inside right now. The 2 on the top, though, Brightsman and Burke. Burke's definitely one of them guys you want pushing you, as you mentioned at the top of the show there, Donovan. He's got a pretty fast truck and able to keep up with these guys on the high side, no matter who it is that's in front of him.
Yeah,
oh,
definitely.
19!
Whoa! Oh, it looked like he almost saved that, but tail slapped it, and he's still moving forward.
Yeah, for right now, 13 of, what's his face, Nicholas Bishop back there got into the back of him and pretty much turned him into the tri-oval fence there. But we're still rolling, still green. Number 2 having a little bit of connection issues on the inside. Barrington not having a good night with that so far. Noticed him stutter a couple times earlier on in the race, but we are working lap 18 right now at the scheduled 65. Oh, 3 wide.
Ooh, 10 truck is moving up there on 28. They are wise and made a little bit of space. He is still hung out to dry, though. Let's see if he can find his way in.
Yeah, Andy Vogt in the middle between Laviolette and Fletcher right now. Not exactly where you want to be this early in the race. Fletcher on the high side. Going to take it a little easy. Ryan Main's looking to go to the inside of his teammate. I don't know what's going on there.
Right, and how often have these two been their own worst enemies and best friends?
There's no greater, I don't know the saying. It's too late. It's just race.
Yeah, that 17 came up just a hair's breadth in front of that 28. They are all settled down now, looking clean lines, and everyone's kind of getting back and sucking up some draft, trying to push themselves back up to the front.
And you notice Barrington down there on the inside. Oh, he got loose to try over. He's on the apron.
Oh, whoa it
doing,
down,
bud?
Trenton. Where are you going?
Exit stage left. Trenton Barrington trying to get off the track. That Atlas finisher's number 2. He might have to take a number 2. That might be why he's getting off the track there. But
He has towed himself back to the pit lane.
That's not the first time that he's all of a sudden turned to the left and just gone off the track before.
yeah, well, normally there's a car down there and he, locks on before
three
he
wide
gets off the
again.
track. Yep, here goes Fletcher through the middle between Vogt and Hutchinson. Hutchinson still in that 3rd position on that bottom lane. Vogt trying to bring his teammate in Maines up, but 3 wide behind him. Maines, Ottenbacher, and Little. Ottenbacher got a good run through the center of that turn, but it looks like teammates will prevail as the 17s can catch up to the 10 of Vogt. Going to try to leave Ottenbacher to drive in the center. It's just helping all 3 of those trucks cause it. Oh, 17 and 10.
Oh, they are. There's a bunch of wall for the 17.
You almost wonder if the 17 should be in front of the 10 here. Let the 10 push the 17 because they are not working the way it's sitting right now.
I don't know. It's a little bit too early to be testing my blood pressure right now. You boys need to calm down.
Just a little bit as we go back to 2 wide, the way it should be here because 3 wide will get you in trouble.
I will commend the 13 and the 16 back here. I believe Kip was involved in the first incident, but they're still hanging pretty tough here with the rest of the crowd. Of course, they are both 1 lap down, so they're trying to race for the lucky dog as well as try to keep up with this lead pack, maybe get one back the hard way. Looking back towards the front, 24 of Stab now rode the apron through 1 and 2, going to give the 40-60 the advantage. 53 pushing him pretty good on the high side. Breitzman's going to come down to clear the 29. Now we have Carl Burke, the leader on the high side. Wall's going to suck up to the back of his teammate in Breitzman. William Fletcher on the outside. Going to try and work with Burke as they roll off of 4.
Yeah, look at it now. That high line's starting to come together because that 53-28 089 combo, they are starting to be able to do what we've always seen here in the past, which is being able to drive around and put a battle on the high side. Although right now we do see the 46 and 24 and the 48 being able to, excuse me, the 46, 29 and 24 being able to put a little run on here. But let's see that high side come back together. Ooh, Walls, stay down there.
I think that was more to try to break the draft of the high line than anything. From the 29, running a little bit high there. Fletcher looks like he's trying to get a little bit of air to the front of that Chevrolet. They're going to get to pushing Burke here, but we have another 3 wide situation. Andy Vogt going to split the gap. I believe he backed off, let Ottenbacher back in there. Ottenbacher really wide, coming off of 4 last time around.
I'm counting the laps waiting to see if Breitzman pulls a normal Breitzman move and go ahead and drops below that yellow line and see what happens there.
I don't think anybody wants to see that. Or maybe they do.
How many fast repairs these guys have again?
They got Uno.
Oh, they got 2 trucks just driving right up on the high side again. I love seeing that.
It seems to work a little bit better, doesn't it?
It's definitely coming in. I mean, we're at 24 laps in. We're about a third of the way there. So there's lots of time to see if that high groove will come in and do what's happened in the past. I know tire models have changed. Aero packages have changed lately in iRacing. Well, weird. You have definitely 3 wide there in the back. But hopefully we'll be able to see some really good running.
Yeah, I noticed between the 089, 10, and 17, they've really fell back out of that high line. I don't know if that was by design or what. I'm pretty sure not for the 10 and 17, but maybe the 089 of Ottenbacher. Maybe did that on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them, then behind those 3, if you go way back, you have the 67, 415, and 427 all nose to tail. They are running competitive speeds. They've just chosen to be way in the back.
Yeah, they want to sit back there and try to avoid the wreck, but that didn't help them the first time. We've got 3 wide up front. 46 kind of shot out to the outside, but the 53 did not want to pick him up.
Yeah, Brightsman stuck in the middle. Here comes Burke. Try and squeeze in front of the 46. Going to leave his teammate out there. Oh, that's close.
Yeah, Burke didn't get down in time, and he ended up shutting the door on the 46 when the 46 had a lane there. But I think it was just the indecision to pick up the 28, but instead couldn't get there, and that just hurt the 46.
And we're coming up on lap traffic here. Nick Kuhn at a 19. The 28 is going to have to decide whether or not to come down or not. He's got plenty of room. He will do so. Burke, though, going to be left all by himself on the high side. Going to have to pick up on a lot of side draft if he wants to keep towards the front here. Here comes Nathan Little to the outside peeking, but he's going to come back in front of his teammate almost. Yeah, he's back there.
Yeah, look at watching the 46 truck here. He has set himself back up, getting underneath the backside here of the 28. Going to try to do a push. Let's see if he's able to push that 28 back up to the 53 of Carl Burke, who's riding solo up on the high side.
Yeah, lap car kind of threw a spanner in the works there, and 53 doesn't have anywhere to get down at. Oh, 13-16 just about ran into the 14, or the 46, excuse me.
Yeah, that 19 became a fidget spinner for all these drivers.
Here we go, the high lane coming back together. Teammates 1 and 2 on the high side with Brightsman. See if these guys can get back out to the front, or to the front for the first time tonight. Carl Burke's been a big help to a lot of guys there for Wicked Chassis, so hopefully they let him at least lead one of them. Working their way through turn number 3. Burke has made his way back up to side by side with second place and Stab now. But through the turns, you can definitely tell that Fletcher is not exactly wanting to be completely square with Burke. Is complete polar opposite between first and second. Because they're pretty much straight in line. You can see Fletcher there working to the outside, just a tinge.
Yeah, looking at the inside lane here, the 29-24, the one truck, they are sitting very smooth, nose to tail. Little it's kind of bounced around a little bit, but that, a couple of guys on the high side, the 53 of Carl Burke, the 28 of William Fletcher.
Oh, tins around. Ottenbacher
whoa,
got
hard.
into him. Yeah, everybody's still going straight, but that's going to take the 10 into 089 out of contention for right now. Hopefully they get a caution before they get lapped around here. That was just, I don't know what happened there. They'll back out front here. That high lane is working well, but not well enough to get Carl Burke to the point. Fletcher really high, running about 3/4 of the track on top. Bryce was going to try to peek in there. Ooh, Little coming up to get a little bit of side draft off the 46. But we're back to a 3-wide situation, and that's going to leave Burke without a teammate on the high side. All right, big run there from the 53 and the 46. Burke might be able to clear him. If he does, I believe he'll come down and take over the lead on the inside lane, and he will do it. Carl Burke out front for the first time tonight. Let's see how the 29 likes that. I believe he's going to, a little team order, get in front of that 46, get back out to the front. But here comes Ryan Maines pushing Brightsman on the outside as well.
Ryan Maines is such a great run on and off through this series. He's either on fire or he's, with his teammate, making some interesting shows.
Well, they just passed Andy Vogt that 10 truck. That's going to put him one lap down. Should be the first. Well, actually, not going to be the first car because lap down trucks are still hanging back there as well. We have had some more scoring issues with the overlays. I believe it is. We've deduced it down to it being on iRacing's end. Not sure what happened, but we do apologize for the inconvenience. We do have two drivers that have retired, the 9 and the 2, Eric Bolton and Trenton Barrington, respectively. They have decided to hang up their helmets for the night, but we still got a pretty intense battle out front.
Yeah, Carl Burke has settled into that lead spot right here, and he is looking solid, and he's not moving, allowing Mark Walls to do a lot of the pushing back there, and he is as happy and content as can be in clocking off some laps. We're coming up to halfway.
I believe we're halfway this time by 65. Yeah, pretty much 32 and a half. So, yeah, on the backstretch, we hit halfway, but still got a lot of racing left. We're ticking off just sub 50-second laps with just around 32 to go. And there's the move to the high side.
And that is going to hurt Burke. Oh, man, all teammates lined up there. He's got William Fletcher, not Fletcher, I'm sorry. The one truck coming in fast. That's not going to be too little too late. There they all go.
I mean, you just look at it. The 29, 24, and the 46 are literally locked on bumpers coming off of the turns. And look how fast Carl Burke has dropped. He's all the way back into 6th now. His teammate in the 28's on the high side. You might want to think about letting him in, but he's not going to.
Well, the 28 had plenty of time to get down. He just didn't. I don't know what was going on with that, but he just decided to stay to the outside and is now left to his lonesome out there.
And Wayne Hutchins following real close there, helping him out, trying to do what he can with his teammate and Dog Bear.
Pretty much all of the teams are represented. Oh, Carl Burke's loose.
No!
He's gone. Takes his teammate out. Gets D. Palmer and Nathan Little. D. Palmer, chase contender. Big problems. He's blown up. He's going to have to take that fast repair here. Caution is out on the speedway at lap 35. Holy crap.
That was intense.
That was honestly, the weirdest I've ever seen a truck go into turn 1 here at Talladega.
He got just a hair loose, and I don't know if he spun a tire or what, but that thing hooked right so fast.
Well, I know one thing. He didn't have any help, and it kind of reminisced of Michael McDowell at Texas qualifying crash with all the flipping. But he should still have that fast repair in the bank as long as he can make it back to pit road. He is smoking pretty bad, taking care of a lot of mosquitoes on the backstretch. All of the drivers come down to pit road. This should put them in their fuel window to make it to the end from here. All right, we're going to try it again, see if we can get the score resolved. We'll be right back. right, and welcome back. As they went down pit road is how they came off. Mark Wall, still your leader here, just over halfway. Got a couple of waiver rounds in front of him in the 10 and 53 of Andy Vogt and Carl Burke. Just, I don't know what happens when getting into one there. That's about the weirdest thing I've ever seen at Talladega.
Yeah, I was listening to the spotters as well, and no one quite knows exactly what happened. He was there, all of a sudden he was loose, and he was in the wall.
Yeah, really unfortunate, but it works out for a couple of drivers out back. Before Brian Barnes, the 67 of Andrew Williams, the 427 of Brandon Weinberg, who has been having major connection issues, but it looks like he's somewhat stable. He's still blinking, but we'll see if he can keep that going, or he might have to get out of the race. But for now, he's doing pretty good. Brian Barnes, like I said, able to move up through this caution, so he is up to 6th place, and we'll see if they can do anything about it. We've got about 28 laps to go right now, so it's past halfway.
And we have another driver taking the DNF tonight, Kip Leo, and then number 16. He has had such a hard season this year. It's been incredibly painful to watch because Kip's a pretty good dude. So hopefully his luck starts to turn around with the last, what do we have, about 5 races left? Yes, 5 races after tonight, or 4.
We have 5 races. We have Auto Club, and then the top 6 drivers move on to Texas and Phoenix, and then the top 4 move on to Homestead for the final race of the season.
Well, as points sit right now, there's 3 drivers that have a pretty, well, really 2 that have a substantial advantage over the rest of these drivers out here on the track. That's the 29 and 46 teammates, Mark Walls and Sean Breitzman. And Walls started out with an 8 position advantage over everybody else in the field, and Breitzman had a 4. Wayne Hutchinson with 2 extra bonus points coming in. Dee Palmer and Jeff Stabnow actually were credited with their wins, but Andrew Williams, who actually won earlier this season, or a couple races ago, actually, he got cheated out of his 1 point there. So don't know if that's just a scoring oopsie doodles or what happened.
Yeah, I believe there was a little bit of controversy over that win.
All right, gonna give you a quick race summary before we go back to green.
Yeah, our current leader is Mark Walls. We've completed 38 of 65 laps. We've had 7 lead changes and 2 cautions for 9 laps.
So basically, he got Lagan.
Man, no.
Basically. Oh, man. Well, the 29 and 24, they're going to be starting up on the top row here. We'll see. The 17, Ryan Maines, has moved up through the field. We'll see if he has anything for these guys, but I wouldn't be surprised if the teammates of Wicked Chassis are going to stay up front here.
Probably, I can call about 4 or 5 other wins. Could have been the same way. But here we go. Back to green flag racing. Pace car is going to dip off. The 29's got command of the field. Got his teammates 2nd and 3rd to his outside end behind him. Going to get this green flag here. And we are back underway at Talladega. Pretty decent start, as the Talladega start should be. For Brian Barnes working with that 17, trying to push him up towards the front, or doing a little sidestep in there. 17 gonna give a shove to the 24 in the middle of the turn and try to push him in front of that 29.
Oh, that is good run they have on the outside. Look at that. And up drops Andrew Williams to the high lane.
He's back on the lead lap after an early incident right around lap 8 or 9. Him and the 4 Brian Barnes involved. So good to see the rebound from those 2 trucks. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of getting confused between the 68 and the 427 because they look eerily similar on the racetrack.
Right? It's all red, white, and blue. Although, hey, PBR.
Looks like the 427 recognizes that his connection is not the best. He will move on to the top side and float on towards the back as up in the lead. The 29 looks like he's clear, but he's not going to go anywhere with the 46 back behind him, pushing him. 24, their teammate's going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, getting a good push from Ryan Mason at 17. That 24 of Jeff Stab now trying to get in front of his teammate. He had him clear a couple laps ago, but decided not to drop down for some strange reason. Got 68 LaViolette a little low coming out of turn number 4, but he's got it back up there in the 4, and 17 trying to draft somewhat on the high side.
Ooh, 17 out of whack a little bit there. 467 have to float on back. Looks like the top 2 leaders right now are going to be able to break free. The one, though, Wayne Hutchinson up on the bottom, trying to make his way up through the field here, although he's been to the bottom for most of this race.
I don't know if you guys jump in the back, you look at the 15. Carl Burke is driving with a head of steam like a locomotive through a snowstorm. He is just making his way up through cars, and he has moved all the way up to the back of the 67, and he's getting ready to do some pushing.
Yeah, I believe if him and the 67 get hooked up, they can take this field 3 wide and hold her high, wide, and handsome. Try to get around a bunch of these cars. Because right now, the high side's just not working out. Stab now mired there back beside the 3rd place truck on the bottom lane in Wayne Hutchinson, who's been there all night. That's where he's been, 3rd on the inside all night.
Yeah, the cars in front of him have changed, but he has been solidly right there with them. 17 still getting out of whack a little bit up on the high side. And again, the 4 has to let up.
Yes.
Good.
I was going to say, just especially coming through 3 and 4, there is some bumps right there. If your truck is not set up to handle those bumps, it is easy to lose contact and make that truck real squirrely.
One time through this trial on the back, I can see the 4 hooking the 17. 17's trying to go high. I don't know if he's trying to get some air to that nose. These trucks could push for right around 4 or 5 laps, bumper to bumper, before they start blinking. So unless they're running a lot of tape, which I'm pretty sure a lot of the guys who started in the back ran a couple extra strips of tape, they can sit here and push for a good long while. 17 pushing in the corner, trying to get the 24 in front of that 29. But I don't believe that 24 is going to dip that. Good Lord, he's dancing around. Look at me.
Right? Oh my gosh.
He's playing a DDR behind him.
Oh,
there he goes.
Oh, they're going to go 3 wide. He's got no help up high. Oh, no, he does.
Ooh,
They are
Ryan
gonna
decides
make
to
it
go with him, but he sees that 17's not very quick right now. He's going to dip right back onto the bottom, or to the middle lane. I apologize there. 24 is going to have help now. I think they wanted to let the 24 float back, but they couldn't quite do it with the 17 to the high side.
I mean, your top 5 standing right now. Actually, your top 7. The only one that's not within the top 7 is Deep Palmer, and he's right back there a row behind. That's all of our chasers to the front of the field.
I tell most people that cream will rise to the top. Oh, 4 all up into the back of the 24. He's saying go faster.
I think it has more to do with, they're not used to drafting with him. Don't know what kind of lane he's going to use. Because, I mean,
He's using like 2 of them there.
yeah, he's using a couple of them. And, trying to get the maximum push they can to the back of that 24. And it's just, they're not on the same mindset as, the teammates are, or anybody else out here on the track. So see a little bit of separation between the rest of them. It's just the front 2 pairs are pushing as best as they can.
Yeah, still looking through the field here, watching these guys all nose to tail, a little bit of bobbing, a little bit of weaving, a little bit of zigging, a little bit of zagging, but everyone's just keeping themselves in line, waiting for that next big wreck.
Yep. It's just a 17 still shucking and jiving back there, trying to get a good draft off of. Looks like the 28 of William Fletcher is the one in front of him.
Yeah, but he did get his teammate.
Ooh, 28 pushing on back. 17 looked like he was going to make it 3 wide. Luckily, he thought better of it. They're still going to lose a little bit of time here. But up front, we've got about 4 lanes side by side.
It looks like we're coming to about 19 to go this time by or so. 18 to go.
Yeah, 18 laps to go here. And it doesn't look like they're settling down. They're not.
Nope.
They're not trying to make it to 10 to go. They're trying to go now. You've got about a breakaway of 13 cars, 13 trucks here, all in this little group. 17 gets right into the back of the 28. 28, William Fletcher saves it. 17 able to catch it, but the 10 had to let up to not be involved in an incident. But he will be out of draft now as he just cannot keep the speed up.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Maines and for Vote just stuck.
Leave John Ottenbacher on pit lane. He might be trying to take his fast repair here. I don't know if he took it earlier. I don't see a new truck popping up, so he's just been slow.
Yep. Yeah, he used his fast repair just there. It took him a little time to get into his box, but once he got stopped, he did use his fast repair.
The good thing about Talladega and having a pit, he's probably only going to go 1 lap down unless the field can catch him. A good run from the 24 on the high side, though. Brian Barnes, a good push. 24 is definitely clear, but he just doesn't want to come down for some reason.
He really likes that middle groove.
Can't understand why, because he's going to end up bringing one of these other guys with him, and I believe he would want his teammate behind him.
It's interesting when I keep watching this, when he does get a full truck length up over the 29, and all of a sudden now he's on the backside of the 46. He's losing 4 or 5 truck lengths every time he gets up front there.
And there always seems to be these top 3 drivers are from the same team, and there's always 2 of them on the bottom and 1 up top. There's never ever 2 up top. It's just as if they want to try and keep the front row no matter what.
I mean, you can kind of get it. You know, they're all teammates and everything. They're trying to race for a championship in Homestead in about 5 weeks' time, so you can get it. But keeping all the rest of these guys mired back here in traffic is not going to last for too long, as business is going to start picking up. We got 15 laps to go.
Yeah, and you're looking at those guys behind Stab now. Stab now, obviously, you know, using the setups from Walls and from Brightsman, but the Ford truck, the 67 truck, the 53 truck, those are all hardcore aggressive drivers. They are known and well known here at OCTV and in the Northwest Truck Series for guys who will put a fender on you. He is not in the best position if he wants to finish that race.
Well, I mean, you just look at Carl Burke right there, high side, running the petty line. He's going to duck back in behind the 67, though, as they are coming up on the 19. Nick Kuhn going to go another lap down. That's only going to leave Ottenbacher 1 lap down, so if there's another caution, he will get the lucky dog. But I believe it's about to be ditching time for that 24 truck here soon.
Yeah, it's
Already
one thing to
back
want to
here.
keep the front row. It's another thing to get up there and stay in that high position when it comes down to go time.
Yeah, already falling back here beside the 68 of Gary LaViolette. The one in 68 and 42.
Oh,
23.
67.
Oh, there it is. God, you scared the crap out of me.
I was just watching that, and all of a sudden they connected with the 42, and all hell broke loose.
Well, I believe we have a culprit on that one.
Yeah, the 53 of Carl Burke got into the back of the 67, completely turned him. 67 came down and cleaned out the 42 of Nathan Little.
Yeah, sorry about that there.
Well, that was a little bit of teammate love between the 53 and the 67. 67 has already used his fast repair, so that's going to take him out of contention for tonight. and possibly the chase, because he was already back there. But we do have two of the Wicked Chassis on the top right now going for the lead. Brian Barnes at 4. He's going to need a lot of help. He's just lost every single piece of help that he's had all race.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking right there.
Yeah, and that really split the top end of the field up. Got about 8 drivers here trying to get back together, really 6 under a blanket, about 7 together. We'll see what they can do here, because we've got a couple of different teammates up at the front.
I will say, where did he come from? Christopher Sherburne running up here in 7th position on that high line behind the 4. He is putting together one great run for himself here tonight.
A lot of interesting chatter happening between the drivers here.
Yeah, looks like we have 12 laps to go. They're going to come to 11 this time by. We do want to apologize for the scoring incidents we've had tonight. Just unfortunate the software has not been able to hook up for you guys, but hopefully we'll get it running for the rest of the races. It is about to get interesting here.
Yeah, coming up on the 089 of John Ottenbacher. He's going to stay to the high side, let these guys race it out. They're working their way through 1 and 2 yet again. Next time around, 10 to go. And teammates stuck on the high side, got the 29 on the bottom, getting help from the 1 of Wayne Hutchinson. What? 46 and 24. They're working pretty good together right now with that 4 behind them.
And that's 17 and 15 behind them, trying to catch up, trying to get back into some positions up here, but it's not quite working. Don't quite have the speed to pull up to the back of those bumpers.
Yeah, without the 53 there to help out, and the 67, the 4 trucks just have a hard time getting around the Wicked Chassis guys.
Oh, and there's the 24, 4, 68,
oh,
17.
caution, yellow's
Oh,
out, yellow's
no.
out.
Yeah, yellow comes out immediately.
That's, well, I know Brian Barnes has already used his fast repair, but that's 3 of our chasers right there involved in that wreck. It happened. 24 got hooked into the wall. Kind of looked like the 53 and the 67 on the backstretch, just a little bit.
Yeah, 4 just got into the back and completely turned the 24 there. 68, 17 got involved as well.
Carl Burke's went ahead and retired for the evening. Had a bad fast truck, just wrong place at the wrong time. Field's going to catch up.
Yeah, hopefully these guys can repair some of the damage. Some people that wrecked earlier in the night, we'll see this will be their last opportunity to do so, as we are down to 9 laps to go. We will have a restart here. It will just be a couple of laps at the end of it. We'll see once we go green, the next flag should end it. So we'll see how these guys end up racing out, but absolutely everyone should come down pit lane, because for the most part, the top 6, really the top 5 are the only ones that didn't get a piece of that. And still we do have some drivers that are a little damaged up there.
Whoa, that 15 is coming with a head of steam there. Whoa, wait up.
Yeah, I think the top 3 are really the only ones that haven't got a piece of some wreck tonight.
I like what Wayne Hutchinson is sitting right now. He's got a good restart line here, and a good looking truck. And you know he's fast because he hasn't been out of that 3rd spot all night.
He is definitely sitting in the catbird seat right now. Girl.
Interesting. The 10 of Andy Vogt stays out. Is going to pick up a lot of positions here.
That's interesting. You got to be banking that there's going to be a wreck right after the green flag then.
Yeah, something like that. The 10 hopefully will be able to hang on here. That's our top 4 that stayed out. Everyone else came down pit lane. The first one off was the 17 of Ryan Maines, and Gary Leviolette came in right behind him, but he had some damage to fix. And now that I'm looking at it, the 17 came in, took his fast repair, and immediately left. Did not change tires, did not take any fuel. That was all he took right there, as everyone else behind him. I thought for a second the 17 might have missed his box because his pit stop was so quick, but that is indeed what he did.
He didn't pass go to collect $200 either.
Apparently not. Took no time at all.
He just collected some sheet metal and rolled on out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the top 5 here, really. Looks pretty clean. The 13 truck up there, Nicholas Bishop, having a nice night here, able to wait it out and let everyone else wreck. It's a good strategy here.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to get around that 29. You already know it's going to be, especially with the teammate up there with him. Wayne has got to have somebody who's on Dog Bear somewhere near him. I'm pretty sure Fletcher could get the job done if he is on the lead lap, and he is not. So he's going to have Maines starting behind him, but they're both going to be on the inside lane when we come to take the green flag, and hopefully the next lap or two. And his closest teammate is going to be Leviolette in the 68. I don't know how fast he's going to be able to get up to him, but if that one didn't go ahead and get to that high side, I believe, 29 or the 46 is going to have it locked up.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, unless you're really interested in helping move him out the way, this is going to be a hard tandem to beat.
Yeah, it really is. And at a racetrack like this, it doesn't come down to a layout on your truck. I mean, you're pretty much matched perfectly with all of the other trucks around you, and it's just about getting that draft and getting those positions. But when you have 2 drivers up front that pretty much have had a monopoly this whole night, that's what it looks like right now. We want to highlight a couple drivers towards the back right now. We have 15 drivers, 14 on the lead lap. It looks like John Onbacher tried to gain a lap there, but only got 1 back after being 2 down. William Fletcher is 2 laps down in 16th. Nick Kuhn is 2 laps down in 17th. You got Carl Burke, who's retired from this race, currently 6 laps down. And then Kip Leo, Trenton Barrington, and Eric Bolton, all involved in early wrecks, have retired from the race. And from there, a quick race summary here. Mark Wall, still our leader here. He has led 42 laps tonight so far out of the 58 that have been completed, 65 scheduled, 11 lead changes with 3 cautions and 12 laps.
A little bit of banter between the spotters here. Looks like a couple of guys trying to hook up and find a dancing partner real quick. We should be going side by side here. Lights are off of the pace car for the final time tonight. Next flag will end the race after we take the green. So yeah, it's going to take. We got 2 sets of teammates pretty much close to each other. You have the front row of the Wicked Chassis. You got TRGA Motorsports adjacent to one another in rows 2 and 3. The 13, Nicholas Bishop up here in the front. PBR 427 and Brandon Weinberg, and Gary Leviolette in 8th. Going to roll off. That's the closest teammate to the number 1. But out of the top 5, there's only 3 chasers up here right now.
Yeah, looking at how these guys are going to take off, it looks like, from my take, I think it's going to be all the inside line. I just don't think the outside is going to be able to do anything. And if the 46 Could stay out there and battle for, but I think he's going to have to get either in front of or get behind and get around the walls to pull this off.
Also worth noting, top 3 are in the chase, and the 10 is not going to just sit back and let him go. I think the 10 might challenge here, if he has anything to say about it.
All right, pace car is off the racing surface once again. Mark Walls, big jump on it. Going to have a big gap between him and the 146 is going to come on down and switch lanes after the start-finish line. Going to get behind the 1 per usual. And the 10's going to get in front of the 1 as well. We'll see if Wayne can push a vote up, try and get this lead. 3-car breakaway. Andy Vogt going to look to the high side with Brightsman.
17 of Mains is looking on the high side to get up there.
Yeah, if the 10 gets a teammate here, this could get interesting.
Oh, look at the 4 back here just chopping through the field.
Yeah, Brian Barnes is on a mission. We've seen him drive up through the field before. He'll have to get to it because we only have 5 laps to go, 4 when they hit the line. Looks like the 10's going to float on back to get his teammate.
Yeah, not looking good for the outside right yet. Wayne Hutchison working back to the bumper of the 46. He might take a peek to the outside here if he has a good enough run to clear the 10. He's got it, and there he goes, almost.
Ooh, 68 side by side with the 13 of Nicholas Bishop. Bishop there. I think the 68 was trying to get a little bit of a side draft, but got a little too close.
Yeah, 10 and 17 are working hard trying to get that draft back up together again.
Yeah,
they're not bumper to bumper. That's what's really hurting them.
I think the 1 is biding his time right now. I think if as long as he can get in front of that 10, I think Vogt can push him up there and try to snag this win from the 29.
Yeah, if the 68 was up there to help the 1, we might have something happen here. And here comes Brian Barnes into the picture all of a sudden with some help from the 23 of D. Palmer.
Yeah, both of those chase drivers, so they need to finish as best as they can to get their place in the top 6. More points to score here, the less they got to score in Auto Club.
Yeah, here we
3 to
go.
go.
An interesting setup here. We've got the top 2, and then the 1 truck, then the 2 teammates of the 10 and the 17, and then a couple of trucks out back. So we'll see what happens here. The 1, unfortunately, with no help, might get hung out to dry here.
This is like stinking of like 2017 Talladega with the car tomorrow and the tandem drafting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. These guys are just bobbing and weaving. Suck it in. Push the bumpers, man. Come on.
Yeah, they're trying.
2 to go when they cross the stripe. Wall still out in front. Can he lead the next 8 corners? That 10 and 17 got a full head of steam on the outside. They need to keep together if they want to keep that momentum up.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch these guys, but you got to be careful here. You don't want to cause a caution trying too desperately to get up through the field here because the next flag will end it.
And the 4 has caught the 17.
Yeah, and the 68's pushing the 13. Had to back off right into the corner, but look at the shot that 13 got. Gotta be careful. That 68 on that apron.
Oh,
there we go.
10's around.
17
Caution's
gets
out.
turned by the 7. Yep. Oh, 24 almost takes out the 10.
Both of the teammates take each other out there, and that's going to be it. Race over. Mark Walls is going to win here at Talladega. Brightsman going to come in second. We're going to get this replay for you real quick.
I tell you what, that 17 and 10 have just been having trouble drafting all night, it seems. The 17 has not been the best pusher. He just gets him in the most awkward of situations. And because of that, didn't get him square on the back and just kind of shoved into him on the left side, and that kind of sent the 10 just spinning.
And we are under white flag and yellow flag conditions here. Nicholas Bishop, series best, 4th place for him tonight. Big shout out to that 13 truck.
Yeah, this is his first, not only top 5, but his first top 10 of the season. So very well done for Nicholas Bishop, able to do it in the first race of the chase.
Gary LaViolette had a fantastic run as well. Top 5 spot for him.
Yeah, that'll move him up a few position in points here as D. Palmer finishes behind him, and so does Brian Barnes. And Andrew Williams, unfortunately, not able to take advantage of that incident as much as I'm assuming he would have liked. He is currently in 12th.
All right, here he comes to the stripe for the final time tonight. 29, Mark Walls, your winner here for the Sasquatch Crossing 173 at Talladega.
Looking at the 67 was so slow over the line, and the 17 is coasting right now. The 17 is going 23 miles an hour over the start-finish line on the front stretch.
All right, we're going to get your results drummed up here in just a few short moments. Pretty exciting race for a Talladega race. Got your results right here for you. Unofficially, Mark Walls, your winner here tonight. Sean Brightsman going to come home in second. Wayne Hutchinson comes home in third. Fourth went to Nicholas Bishop, as we mentioned him earlier. Best career finish in the Northwest Truck Series. And Gary LaViolette going to finish in the top 5. 4 out of the top 5, minus Nicholas Bishop, they are chase contenders, as well as 6th and 7th, and Brian Barnes and D. Palmer. Jeff Stabnow as well in 8th. 9th went to Brandon Weinberg, and Christopher Sherburne finishes in the top 10. Nathan Little in 11th, Andrew Williams in 12th, Ryan Maines 13th, John Ottenbacher in 14th, 1 lap down. Andy Vogt in 15th, Nick Coon 16th, 17th went to William Fletcher, Carl Burke in 18th, Kip Leo 19th, 20th, Trenton Barrington and Eric Bolton. I'm going to round out your field in 21st.
And we are going to move right on into the interview portion of this broadcast. We have our third place finisher, Wayne Hutchinson, in the one truck, was able to keep it smooth throughout the night. Wayne was pretty much in the top 3, I'd have to say, for the majority of the night. Maybe top 5 at his lowest point. But Wayne, you got us?
I got you, Katie.
Fantastic. Well, walk us through this race, because it seemed like it was, from your point of view, it was pretty easy. I mean, you were cruising up front there behind, it seemed, the Wicked Chassis guys for most of the night, but you seemed pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's you had to be very careful tonight because there's only 2 races in this part of the chase, and if you have a bad race tonight, you're probably not going to move on to the next section of the chase. So I wanted to get a good finish. The only way to do that really was to just run around part throttle on the inside and just hope that you didn't get any accidents. The Wicked guys, Jeff, Sean, Mark, they were kind of controlling the pace up front, kind of trading the inside outside, just kind of keeping things, at a certain speed. So it was really just stay in the draft and part throttle it around for a long time.
I hear you. Hey, Donna?
Oh, sorry about that. I was just going to say, watching your strategy play out there, that's a very very veteran driving that you did tonight, and my hat's off to you for doing a holding a strategy, staying with the strategy, and pulling it off. I mean, come on, you had a very solid points night tonight.
Yeah, it was. There was chances near the end there to try for the win. And I think 2 or 3 laps to go, I could have moved to the outside in front of Vogt and Maines, and maybe they could have pushed me to the front. But I thought there's just as much chance of that ending in tears than anything else. So I just stayed in a nice, safe spot and go on to next week.
Well, hey, speaking of next week, hopefully you guys have a good setup there to challenge and try to get another win. Auto Club is on deck, so you guys got something good for us there.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty good setup. I mean, it's very similar to Michigan, a little less banking, a little bumpier, but very similar setup. I think we'll be okay. We should be able to run top 5 most of the night.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, give some shout outs real quick, show some love, and let's send you back to the party.
Yep. Shout out to my team, Dog Bear. We had mostly good luck tonight. I think everybody that was in the chase is finished in the top 6 or 7 tonight, so everybody was kind of safe. Um, and to you guys putting on a good show again. See you next week.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and again, that was the one of Wayne Hutchinson finishing in the top 3 in 3rd position, and that's going to put him in a great spot moving on to Auto Club. We'll see what he can do there. But for the time being, we're going to move on to the 2nd place finisher tonight. That is the 46 of Sean Brightsman. You got us?
Gotcha.
Fantastic. We'll talk about this race. You led 12 laps on the night. It seemed like it was going pretty easy for you for the most part. Fell back just a little bit there, but you were able to make your way right back up to the front.
Yeah, overall great night for the Walls Beard Co. Toyota Tundra. We worked really hard to set up this chassis from Wicked Chassis, of course, the team, to optimally go the fastest around the track solo. Figured that would probably be a good bet, especially in the draft. Pretty happy with it. I mean, overall, I'd love to get the W, but Mark got it with that last lap, or yellow right before the last lap. So.
Yeah, well, you guys ran a great race as a team. All three of you guys stayed in the top 3, top 5 all night long. Usually we notice that some of you would say too high or too low. You guys kept split. Was that a strategic move, or was that just how things kept playing out for y'all?
Probably strategy. We were trying to keep together as much as we could, and I mean, obviously, if we got warm or whatnot, we had to kind of get out of the back and try to get some air for that truck. So.
All right. Well, hey, you guys had a fantastic run. You were dominant as always. You and Walls and Stab now did a fantastic job showing a great amount of strength in your trucks tonight.
Yeah, I hate it for Jeff there at the end to get caught up in a little mess there. But that's part of plate racing. So just first off, just wanted to thank Sasquatch Crossing for putting on the or being able to put on the broadcast for you guys to broadcast it. And then got to say thanks to Mama Stab now, Jeff's mom, because she watches and roots for us. So.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, we'll see you guys next week at Auto Club.
All right, catch you guys later.
All right, fantastic. And again, that was the 46 of Sean Brightsman, able to keep it steady throughout the night, finishing 2nd, and he will be looking good going on into Auto Club. And we're going to move right on to our winner of tonight, Mark Walls in the 29 truck. You got us, Mark?
10-4.
Fantastic. We'll talk about this race, man. It seemed pretty easy for you. You cruised out front. You led 49 laps out of the 65 total. It seemed like it was pretty easy.
It was and it wasn't. Running in this series definitely is not easy. As we've seen, all these guys have amazing speed. And I couldn't have been into victory lane without Sean sticking behind me. I knew last lap we were going to battle for it, and the caution fell our way. But this the whole night from qualifying to the strategy of just trying to stay up front and lead as many as we can definitely played in our hands.
Well, man, you guys had a great solid run. All 3 trucks looked fantastic tonight. We noticed with Brightsman, we talked about it briefly about some good strategy calls you guys made. Overall, just a downright amazing night. From your point of view there, how do you think the truck team is playing out for these next 6 races or so we have left in this series?
Oh, the next races for the chase are going to be exciting. I think we put together a pretty good schedule as far as what we have in the chase. I mean, to start it off at Talladega, where it's anyone's ball game, then to go into Auto Club, where it's a rare occasion we run there. So setups are going to be more like Michigan, and Michigan was exciting. So I can only imagine what Autos Club is going to be like. 4 wide, 5 wide, probably.
Right.
It's going to be exciting for the final race of the first round.
Awesome. Well, man, we're excited to be there and to cover the race. Once again, while we got you up here, who do you got some love for?
Yeah, I want a big shout out to Sasquatch Crossings, our main race sponsor for tonight. Without all of our sponsors and without OCTV, we wouldn't be able to have amazing races and go back and watch some of these amazing broadcasts. So big hats off to you guys for everything that you do for our series And to all the sponsors on board with us, we got some awesome payout money for the top 4 drivers, and we wouldn't have that without these sponsors. So big thanks to all of them. And Walls Beard Co. finally back in victory lane. We've had a rough couple weeks. Let one slip at Vegas with an over adjustment. Bounce back with a win at Dega. I got to thank my teammates over at Wicked Chassis, Sean and Jeff, and we put in countless hours. I know Jeff doesn't sleep much. I don't sleep much. I think we're on Messenger more than we are sleeping, trying to figure out what we're doing to these things. So a lot of work goes in, and it's definitely paying off.
All right, man. Well, that's awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys at Auto Club, and hope you guys have a great celebration. Keep it safe. Go to bed at a decent time. You got a baby at home.
I know, right? What sleep?
All right, man. Hey, have a great week.
All right, you guys.
And again, that was the 29 of Mark Walls winning the race here tonight at Talladega, the first race in the chase. They've got 5 to go, moving on to Auto Club. And then the top 6 drivers will move on from that group of 8. And right now, it's looking pretty good for the people that entered. The point standing's pretty high because they pretty much held the top spots in this race. So we're getting a good clue of who's really strong in this chase so far. We'll move on to Auto Club. Back to the 1.5-mile, 2-mile tracks that we're used to, and we'll see how these guys can hang in the chase here. And I just want to give a shout out to the 13 of Nicholas Bishop. Again, best finish and first top 10 of the season. Way to go. As well as the 427 of Brandon Weinberg. This is his second race and his first top 10. So very nice. And Christopher Sherburne finishing up in the top 10 as well. Very well done by those guys, and a tough night for those in the back that got caught up in wrecks. Some of them not of their doing, some just not really getting put in the right position. So unfortunate. It has been a little yo-yo type of race for these guys, and we'll see what happens moving on to Auto Club.
Yeah, agreed. This was one of the crapshoots of the season. Starting up a whole new chase, trying to get your points together, and really just kind of having to pray for 65 laps. Hats off to everyone for doing such a great job. And again, congratulations to Mark Walls and the whole team and everyone out there. It's a fantastic show.
Yeah, as we mentioned, we're going to Auto Club Speedway next Thursday night at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific time for the Sargent's Place. We don't know how many miles this is. 75 laps. It literally is a blank space after the name. So hopefully they have some kind of mileage in there next time. But, decent race here at Dega. It's classic Dega. We do have Dover on tap for next week for the ASRS on Tuesday night at 9 Eastern. That's definitely going to be a fun one there. ASRS puts on some amazing shows, as these Northwest Truck Series guys do as well. It's going to be the Skeeber, Flobs, Kitacorn 100 from Dover, the Monster Mile. Tune in there on the YouTube channel. But for Donovan Johns, Katie Reed, and Cafe Olay, our producer here tonight, I am Wes the Mess. We are OCTV, and we are out.